I want to tell you something. I don't say enough, not out loud anyway. I still have bad days. Days where I light a candle just to have something soft to look at and help me relax. Days where I have to remind myself to actually breathe because I've been holding it all day and I don't even realize it. I'm a registered nurse with over 30 years of experience, and I built a whole framework around nervous system recovery. And I still have days where I have to stop everything, sit down, and just breathe. I'm telling you that because what I'm going to share today isn't something I figured out and forgot about. It's something I live every single day. And I want you to know that before I say anything else. Today, I want to talk about what nervous system burnout actually feels like. Not the clinical version, the real version. The one that shows up in your daily life in ways you might not even recognize as burnout. Here's something that took me a long time to understand, and I think it might change the way you've been thinking about this. Most people describe burnout as doing too much, and I get why, because it feels that way. It feels like your plate is too full, and if you could just clear some things off of it, you'd be better. But here's what I've seen in my own recovery in my years of nursing. Burnout isn't doing too much. Burnout is never recovering. You can cut your workload in half and still feel exactly the same. Because the problem was never how much you were doing. It was that your system never got the chance to come back down and reset. Think about that for a second. How long has it been since you felt truly recovered? Not just rested for a night, truly recovered. Weeks, months, years? That's not a rest problem. That's a nervous system that's forgotten what recovery feels like. So what does that actually feel like day to day? Because nervous system burnout doesn't always look like falling apart. In fact, most of the time it doesn't. It looks like being fine, functioning, showing up. But it feels like being tired also, exhausted, but unable to really settle in your body. Like your body's heavy, but your mind won't stop. It feels like you're always slightly braced for something bad to happen, even when you're trying to rest. Like you can't quite exhale all the way. It feels like small things that irritate you more than they should. Like noise bothers you. Like you snap at people you love and then feel terrible about it afterwards. It feels like rest doesn't restore you. Like you sleep and you wake up tired. Like a whole weekend off still leaves you exhausted by Monday morning. Does that sound familiar? Here's why I want you to understand this. Really understand it, not just hear it. When you know that what you're feeling is a nervous system that has never truly recovered, it stops being a character flaw. It stops being weakness, and it stops being something you should be able to push through with enough willpower. It becomes something that makes complete sense, given everything you've carried, everything you've been through, and how long you've been carrying it. And here's what I want you to know from my experience. Sitting on my couch with my candle, trying to relax, learning to breathe again after years of not stopping. Recovery isn't about doing less. It's about learning to actually come back down and to reset, to treat the whole of you, not just manage your schedule. It's about your mind, your body, and your spirit, all of it. That's not soft advice. That's what actually works. I use something called Midlife Triage framework. There's 3 states, green, yellow, and red, to help women start reading their own nervous system. I can look at the cards I developed and see where I'm at on any given day. And I have the tools right there to help me recover, to take a breath. And it works. It helps to begin to notice what your system is actually doing and respond to it with something other than pushing through. Because when you can name what you're in, when you can say, I'm in red today or I'm in yellow and I need to protect my energy, something shifts. It gives you power. You can stop fighting yourself. You start working with yourself instead. And that's where recovery actually begins. Not in the big dramatic changes, in that small shift. You choose to take care of everything. That's who you are. That's who I am. And I'm not asking you to change that. I'm asking you to add yourself to the list. Next week, I want to talk about sleep, specifically why you can't sleep even when you're completely exhausted. If that's you right now, make sure you're subscribed. Leave me a comment below. Tell me how long it's been since you felt truly recovered. Not rested for a night, truly recovered. I want to know. Be gentle with yourself. I'll see you next time.